Hi guys, how are you all today? Alright, so I'm kind of coming on a little bit random today. My family have just all left me. They've gone down to the river, and because I'm, on my crutches, I can't really do anything. And if you can hear some music, they just decided, a band just decided to start over in the park near where I am. We just come away for this long weekend we've got here in Melbourne. So so if you can hear a band and you can't hear me so well, I'm so sorry about that. You might hear a few Harley Davidsons because it's our Harley Davidson convention that's happening here. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about how brides can find you. And I reckon that there's kind of three places where a bride can find you. And I'm going to jump into that, so I thought I would just quickly introduce myself and then we will get started. My name is Dawn Rose. I am by day a hairstylist and makeup artist, bridal specialist, and by night I try and help other hair and makeup artists start and grow their business in hair and makeup, but using this wonderful world that is the wedding industry to help you guys attract brides, retain brides as clients even though brides get married once, and then start creating a consistent income in your hair and makeup business. So I wanted to talk to you about the three places where I think brides are going to find you, and this kind of rolls on to what I'm going to be talking about a little bit more in my masterclass part 2. So those of you that joined me for part 1, I'm doing the repeat of part 1 on Monday, Tuesday, depending on where you are in the world. But then we're going to be talking on masterclass part 2. It's going to be all about how we can capture our brides in the first place and how we get them to becoming our brides right at the beginning. So for those of you that joined me for masterclass part 2, we sort of did it was a bit more behind the scenes stuff, and then masterclass is going to be the front end of what we do. So it's optimizing everything that we do in order to capture our brides. But I reckon there's normally 3 places where a bride is going to find you. One is going to be through referral. So when we talk about referral, we want to make sure that every service that we give our bride, is the best service, because you can actually live on your referrals. I basically, for the last probably 3 or 4 years of my business, I have lived on referral. Referral has been what has kept me going, and I've rarely had to run any kind of ad to get a bride, because my previous brides have been the ones who have referred me on to my my future brides. So you need to make sure that everything you do is top notch when it comes to your brides. Go above and beyond. What do they say? They say under promise and over deliver. So, and I definitely think the little kits and stuff that you can give your brides, I think sending nice congratulation cards in the post is a really great idea. So there's plenty of things that you can do over and above just the normality of just being a bridal stylist and just turning up and doing the wedding and then going again. So that's my first thing. So your bride's going to find you in one way. They're going to find you through referral. The second place the brides are going to find you is going to be through a search engine, and by that I mean Google, Yelp, some kind of local free ads, that kind of stuff, but pretty much through Google most of the time now. I don't know about you, but if I want to go somewhere, if I want to go to a restaurant, if I want to look something up, if I want to do something with my kids, I Google it. That's the first thing I do, is I get on Google and I Google it. So I look at what it's like as a business, and really I'm looking for reviews. How we have like TripAdvisor, people want to go on holiday, and what do? They go onto the search engine TripAdvisor, they search their hotel and see what the reviews are like. Brides will do exactly the same thing. They'll go onto a search engine like Google and they'll go and look for your reviews. Now yes, it's probably going to be very similar of them looking at reviews now on Facebook, because Facebook reviews have become a really good thing. Guys, I'm sorry, I don't have my selfie stick, so I'm a bit wobbly. But definitely through a search engine. So I would say it's a really good idea to have some kind of Google profile. So how they have Google and Google Plus, I would definitely have a Google profile. Another thing with having a Google profile and having your address on there is that they can find you really easy. I mean, everyone uses Google Maps, right? All of the navigation devices, what are they called? The GPS. They all use Google Maps. So having a Google profile is going to really help keep you on the map for your bride, so that when they're looking for somebody in your area and they're Googling someone, if they haven't had to come through referral yet and they haven't reached your social media yet, they're going to reach you through the fact that they've Googled hairstylist Melbourne, for example, to find me. So you really need to make sure that wherever, if your brides are using something like Yelp or Google or some kind of local, I mean, it used to be, in the old days, it used to be you'd be on Yellow Pages, right? I know in the UK we used to have the Yellow Pages. And I think they have it over here as well, the white pages with the business pages, but that's all gone. No one uses print media anymore. You know, you're going to be using Google, Yahoo, MSN, whatever it is you use. But I would highly suggest that Google is the way to go, because again, just Google will rank you a lot quicker and a lot higher when brides are looking for you. The third place where your bride is going to find you is going to be your social media. So it's really important that we provide our brides with whatever it is that they want from us. And this is all about knowing you, knowing your target market. And there go the Harley Davidsons. I just said there's a Harley Davidson convention on here. So there were the Harleys that just went past. I'm sorry about the noise. But it's really important that, you know, our social media does exactly what we need it to do. So I've always said that my target market has always been on Facebook. So I concentrate a lot of my time on Facebook. I use Instagram and I use Pinterest. I use Pinterest for my brides, and this is a little tip for you guys. The reason why I use Pinterest for my brides is I actually set up a board for me and my bride to share, and I get them to drop any of their hair and makeup ideas onto the Pinterest board, so I can see what it is that they're kind of after for their wedding before I've even met them. Sometimes I'll say to them, here, have a Pinterest board, you know, drop some stuff in, let's have a chat over Pinterest, let me know the sorts of things that you're looking for as a bride. And that's a really good way of connecting with your bride as well. So I do that a lot, but you just need to make sure that wherever your bride's coming from, like especially with social media, is that you're providing them with whatever it is that they want. And in Masterclass, my part 2 of Masterclass, I'm going to be talking about the things that you can do and the things that you can use in order to capture your brides off of social media, off of your search engines, and, you know, from your referrals. So we're going to be talking all about that on Masterclass part 2. That will be coming out in a couple of weeks time, maybe 3 or 4 weeks time. We'll be doing Masterclass part 2. But social media, there's no rules with social media, right? Social media, the only rule really is that you need to be where your client is. So if your client's on Facebook, you need to be on Facebook. If your clients are all over Instagram, then you've got to be all over Instagram, right? I've always been more on Facebook than on Instagram because my clients aren't really there, but what I do use Instagram for is a gallery. I use it as a gallery for all my photos, for all my professional for all my sort of, I guess, semi and professional pics, but I use it to display my work. I always embed my gallery of Instagram into my website so that my website doesn't have to load up with loads and loads and loads of photos, because, you know, if someone's on your website for longer than, like, you know, 3 or 4 seconds and something isn't loading, all these photos aren't loading, then they're going to just come off and they're going to go somewhere else. People have got a really short attention span when there's so many people to choose from. So I never use a gallery anymore on my website. I always embed my Instagram feed into my website, and so that people can look at my photos using Instagram. But I never concentrate all my time on Instagram because that's not where my target market is. But you may find, depending on your demographic of your bride, you may find that they are on Instagram, and that's where you're going to be getting your clients from. So if that's the case, what I'm saying is that whatever social media platform you're finding that you're going to attract your brides, you just need to make sure that it's looking top notch and you're providing your brides with whatever it is that you feel they want. And it's all about knowing and understanding your bride and your target market and your ideal bride, the ideal bride that I talk about. Hey guys, so it's really important to actually know what it is that they want from you as a stylist. As I said to you, I've found over the years that I attract a very, very similar bride, and it's very purposeful for me, and that's just where my niche is. It's where I'm good, and they all tend to have a very, very similar hairstyle. I absolutely love braids, and I've always loved braids, and so I promote braids in my work all the time. And I also connect with other hairstylists artists that don't like to braid, and makeup artists that perhaps do either hair and or makeup, they book me because they know their bride wants braids. So you kind of become an authority in what it is that you do. So understanding your target market and then catering towards that target market with your social media, you know, with your referrals and with your search engines is going to be a really great way of finding out exactly where your brides are. So that's it. That's what I wanted to do. It's pretty bright here, guys. That's why I've got my sunglasses on. I'm sorry. I'm up in the mountains with my family. They've all gone down to the river for a swim, but yeah, I do Lillet, so I love braids. Like, there's massively, it's a big thing for me with braids. All my work tends to display some kind of braids, and then I also do a lot of braiding on my daughter as well, so I kind of cross over that whole mum thing a little bit with my work too, because, you know, you can have so many different pretty braids, and she makes a great model because she's got lovely long strawberry blonde hair. So I use her as a model a lot. But guys, that's all I wanted to talk to you about. So I think there's 3 main areas, just to go over that again, and you will find out more of this on part 1. If you guys didn't join me for the masterclass part 1, then so lucky. It's cold here. Oh yeah, no, it's still nice here. We've got so it's autumn, but we're still in the 30s I think today. It's going to be up to about 35 degrees here. It's pretty warm. That's Celsius, so yeah, it's pretty nice here. So guys, the 3 areas that you're going to find your brides: 1 through referral, 2 through social media, and 3 through search engines. So you really need to understand your brides. You really need to know exactly where it is they're going to find you, which part of social media they're going to find you on. We're going to touch on more of this on Masterclass Part 2. Masterclass Part 2 is coming up in about a month's time. But don't forget, for those of you that missed Part 1, I'm going to do an encore in 2 days time pretty much. So go check out, if you're not sure when it is, go to creatingbridalperfection.com/masterclass, and that gives you all the details on there as to when I'm going to go live and redo part 1. I know some of you missed it due to my little accident that I had, and I'm going to flick over my screen so you guys can see where I am. I'm in the, so look, I'm on a deck. Here's my crutches, look, and my lovely broken foot. And this is what surrounds me today. Isn't it beautiful? And the noise that you can hear is, this is like a caravan park just here. And then on the other side, then there's a river. On the other side of the river, there's a big stage. And they're having a Harley Davidson convention here today. So I'm just chilling on the balcony while all of my family have all left me to go swim in the river. And I can't get down to the river, unfortunately, because it's a big steep bank. So yeah, and I'm stuck outside. I can't really go anywhere. I can sort of crutch my way in, but I can't hold my phone and use my crutches. So I thought I'd just do the live out here, and it's just a bit bright, so I've got my sunglasses on today. Guys, that's it. I just wanted to jump on really quickly today. Hope that you guys are all well and you're having a lovely weekend. I don't know, I hope some of you have had some weddings this weekend too. I'm kind of out of action for a bit, but I don't mind that too much. I've just had to shift a few clients around in my studio, but apart from that, I'm pretty chilled, and I've got time now to work on the 2nd masterclass. So guys, I shall see you on Monday, Tuesday, depending on where you are in the world, for masterclass part 1, the repeat, and then in probably about 3 weeks time we'll be doing part 2, all about capturing your bride and the things that I've talked about today, and how we can perfect our referral sources and our social media and our search engines to try and capture those brides a little bit more. All right guys, well, take care. See you again soon. Bye for now.